if there's something that you're maybe avoiding working on, start working on something that you like. It may not have to be the thing that you're avoiding, but start working on something that you do like and get into that, because you're going to want to, like, I think it's just a natural progression of stuff. Like, people and humans want to get better at stuff. You never want to just kind of stay doing stuff. You just kind of, I don't know, it's just how it is. It's like, well, I can do this. Well, maybe I can do it a little bit better, right? So once you start doing something and then you find something else that you like, you just have to continuously challenge yourself in things that you like, in things that are good for you. Once you start getting on a roll of doing things, you start looking around at what else do I need to fix around. Because I don't know, it's like a complete, just different shift. Like, the example that I'll give is I had gotten to a place recently where I was just kind of complacent, you know, just doing the same thing over and over again, right? With work, with the podcast, and there were places where I could have been pushing myself and stretching and doing more just to get better, right? I was just maintaining. And then I kind of noticed what was happening, and I decided that I wanted to start challenging myself again and getting in better shape and doing better in jiu-jitsu and, you know, starting a new podcast and going to school again and all these different things. And by adding them all in and by actually putting it out there in the world, because a lot of times these are thoughts that we just have and you never say anything to anybody. So when I started noticing that I was falling into this complacency, that's what started happening. I was like, you know what? I'm going to compete in this big tournament. That was last weekend. You know what? I'm going to start looking at classes to go to school. And there's one that starts in October. You know what? My 40th birthday is coming up. And I've been talking, there's this podcast that I've been thinking about for a long time. Let's get started on this podcast. And then this was the very beginning of the year. And then little by little, I've started getting myself on track. And then I fall off. And then I get on. And then time starts getting closer to these dates, like the tournament, my birthday. And I start noticing that as the months are going by, that I've been kind of bullshitting myself still. And these dates are only getting closer and closer. But as they're getting closer, I'm starting to pick it up a little more. I'm starting to notice, like, hey, if you're going to do these things, you really got to start going. So I start working out more. So I start, looking into the podcast and creating things, working on logos and all these things. And pull-ups was one thing that I had it as part of my workout, but I hated doing it. So I kind of slacked off on it. And then I also noticed, I'm like, oh, you're bullshitting. You don't like doing pull-ups, so you never do them. You always kind of skip that part of the workout. So I just kind of forced myself. I'm like, fuck it. From today till your birthday, I'll do 100 pull. It's almost like I'm talking to myself, like putting myself in place.
Punishing yourself. No.
I'm like, now we're going to do 100 pull-ups every single day until. Yeah. Now, all these things, the tournament didn't happen because of injuries, because of a bunch of things, and that's okay. I will compete in one of the big ones eventually. That goal now has moved on to another spot, maybe later next year. So the next goal of the podcast, I got moving on that. The pull-ups have also kind of changed my body. Like, I started seeing the muscles in my stomach. I've never had a six-pack in my life. And I was like, you know what? It'd be kind of cool just to have a six-pack when I'm 40. And I didn't make that goal either because I've also kind of slacked off and let myself eat whatever I feel like eating. But when you have these things, no matter what, you're going to be better for it. Everything that's freaking happened in this past year has all been positive.
Right. Because even though you don't have the six-pack, you have a lot of definition within your abdomen and your chest. it's even though you didn't get to where you wanted to be, who you are today changed.
Right.
And you could see the difference in your body image as well.
And also that momentum combined with getting like when the podcast was getting closer and closer, I did feel like, some of the things that you were feeling, like the anxiety, is like, fuck, why did I even put it out there that I was going to do this shit? Like, right. But at the end of the day, it's like, I said I was going to fucking do it. And now that it's the first episode is out, if I feel good. I feel good about what I'm doing. And now I'm like, I can fucking do school. I can do school too. And once you just do, you'll figure out how to do the rest.